As we've been talking about all morning long, the third presidential impeachment trial in U.S. history begins in hours. And you might be wondering how this one compares to the other two.
There are still a lot of questions as we wait for the Senate impeachment trial to kick into high gear, but previous impeachments do give us an idea. Let's connect the dots. Only two presidents have had actual Senate impeachment trials, Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton. Richard Nixon resigned before it got that far. Johnson's trial back in 1868 took 2 months. Clinton's trial in 1999 took about 1 month. Both trials did have witnesses, 41 in Johnson's case, but for Clinton, 3 witnesses testified on videotape, then the Senate picked certain portions to play for the record. One of the big differences in the Clinton impeachment was that Ken Starr, an independent counsel, had conducted a very thorough investigation of the president, creating the STARR report, which was the evidence used in the trial. This time around, the evidence comes from the House committee investigating President Trump. So while we can use history as a guide, some of what we will see this week and beyond will be brand new. And that is Connecting the Dots.